So I have a story for you today, a deep metaphor, if you will, to support you in more deeply integrating and understanding the true self versus the not self. So Luna, our sweet fur baby, has been a bit more fussy lately. She's the alpha of her litter, to give you some context and background, meaning she's very lead the pack, strong-willed, wants to do her own thing, super sassy and spicy at times. It's just who she is. It's who she was born to be. If this was human design, she would have the channel of the alpha, 731. She may have that in animal design. I didn't dive into that piece of human design yet. And because of this, when it comes to training and building a really beautiful interdependent relationship with her, she sometimes just doesn't want to answer your commands or do what you want her to do. And so there are these ways that happen, like what we learned when we started understanding dogs and dog training is that, for example, if you give your dog attention all the time and you're smothering them with affection, when you leave, it can create things like separation anxiety because they're so used to being under your energy and in your aura and up under you that when you leave, they're not saying that, oh, well, they'll be back, I'm cool. They just think, oh, they've never left before. I long for them, right? So to support your dog in having a healthier life and not feeling this kind of like anxiety and stress, what you can do is allow them to be their independent selves, where instead of being all on top of them all of the time, you leave them alone. You let them do their own thing. And you connect and you cuddle and you go on walks and you feed them well and you pet them, but it's not 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You're not using your dear fur baby to be a voodoo doll for your emotional comfort or the things that you haven't navigated. So I promise you, I'm getting deeper into the human design metaphor. This is the setup. So in understanding this, one of the things that we've been experiencing is that we usually have her sit at the door before she enters, instead of just walking right in. And it's because we were like retraining some sits and stuff, some mobility stuff with her, that we had her start doing that some months ago. Now, we noticed that more recently, she would come to the door and she would start whimpering and crying even though she's sitting. Now, being able to come into any room and cuddle with us is a privilege. It's not a necessity. If she doesn't have it, she won't die. It's not a part of her like dog bill of rights, if you will. And because of this, all that's required for her to get into the room is for her to sit down and be quiet and be calm and just relaxed, and then we would let her in. But because she wants to get in so bad, and she just cries, and she'll sit here and cry and whimper and sit and SIT like 100 times, and then walk off, and then come back and do it 15 more times, and just having a whole tantrum.
Yeah, the highest I've counted was like 40.
That's wild.
40 SITs at the door, like straight up, just like over and over and over. Let me in, like just hitting the doorbell. Imagine your fur baby at the doorbell, just ding dong, ding dong, ding dong, and like crying the whole way through, just like whimpering, crying, stomping, pacing, tornadoing, just literally throwing a full tantrum at the door. Yeah, that's what she was doing.
Yeah, this is what she was doing. Thank you, baby. And we were like, why are you ringing the doorbell and making such a fuss? We were going to let you inside anyway. This is unacceptable behavior. To allow her into the room after that is to reward that behavior, right? Because then she'll know, I do this, that's how I get in the room. And that if we usually do it after 5 minutes of her doing that, and then we extend it to 30 minutes, she'll do it for 30 minutes because she knows the more I stay in this frustration, I just got to keep going, and then they'll eventually let me in. So we've just not been letting her in the room. We've not been rewarding that behavior. And because of that, she has an attention fast. She's ignored. And so the other day, when she was doing this, she walked off, and then she got distracted and she found a toy. And she started and came over with one of her toys, and Santos let her in. And they started playing, and they had such a great time. And then she got to stay inside afterwards, and it was like, wow, it's so great. All she had to do was feel good to get in. Are you hearing me? Are you hearing the sermon? Are you hearing the message? Is it coming through? All she had to do was feel good to get in, to get everything she wanted, everything that she was literally crying for. And today, she started doing the same thing again because she's so used to having a tantrum at the door and knocking a million times like the police to try to get in, and it doesn't let her in. We don't let her in. And so because she had this experience yesterday, she happened to go off and then she saw a toy and she thought, oh yeah, last time I brought a toy, he played and it was wonderful and I got in. So she brings a toy. And what did Santos do? Well, he just saw her and he thinks, oh, such a cute baby. She wants to play. So he, of course, lets her in. And then you know what? She's getting reinforced. She's getting reinforcement that every time I come with a state of satisfaction and play and joy, I become a magnet for all that's correct for me. I get everything I could possibly want and more. And I feel so, so good in the process. And when she comes with frustration and anger and crying and drama and pain and wails, she becomes a repelling force where nobody wants to be around her. We don't want to be around her. She can't get in, and we're not on that frequency, so we don't even give her any attention at all. And so this is such a powerful lesson for you when it comes to your design. Your mind will tell you the not self is like a whimpering dog who's throwing a tantrum and having a fit because it wants it and it wants it now. It wants the clients now. It wants the audience now. It wants the conversions now. It wants the money now. It wants the relationship now. It wants the everything. You name it right now. And the true self says, I can have it all right now. I can have it all right now. What would I do if I could have it all right now? What would I do if I had it all right now? Right now. Act as if. Oh, well, in a state of deep and total satisfaction, generator, man gen. Oh, feeling so successful and recognized, projector. Feeling so deeply at peace, wow, manifester. Living a life full of surprise, reflector. I have it all now. And it's simply because I've been deeply conditioned, right? That's what you get to tell yourself. You have it all right now. And it is simply because you have been so deeply conditioned to believe that you don't have it, that you can't have it, that you're not wise enough, not good enough, not smart enough, not strong enough, not worthy enough, not intelligent enough, not certain enough, not clear enough, all not enough, not fast enough, not working hard enough. All of that conditioning is what has you sitting in the doorway of your dreams, wailing and crying and clawing and grinding and trying to get in.
That's only a part of you. That's the not self part.
Exactly. When your true self could grab a toy and come in and play. What does your business look like when it's like your favorite game of play? Business is a game, not a grind, a game. What does it look like to show up in total satisfaction as a generator and a man gen in your business? What would that change for you? Knowing that you have an open and enveloping aura and all of life is designed to come to you. And when you honor that, you are a magnetic, powerful, magnetizing force. Of course, clients would be magnetized to you. Of course, money would be magnetized to you. Of course, audience and all the other things and conversions and whatever other metric you use to measure success would be magnetized to you at a volume and a consistency and a frequency above and beyond anything your mind can even fathom at this point from a not self-orientational perspective. As a projector, feeling so successful and recognized, receiving so many aligned invitations, of course you would feel successful and recognized even more. Of course you would be an attractive force for even more amazing invitations. As a manifestor at peace, you'd be able to have such a bigger impact and play such a bigger game because you're no longer angry and you're instead so peaceful and so powerful. People want to be around you. They want to work with you. They want your potent energy, your magic. Of course, as a reflector, living in surprise. For you're just so surprised and delighted all the time. Of course, your community and tribe will gather around you because what you reflect to them is surprise and delight. Your judgments fill them with so much surprise in the best possible way. Instead of being drenched in disappointment. This is the gift of not only building your business by design, but also of living your life in alignment with your design. Your health, your wealth, your relationship, everything transforms for the better. Everything aligns with all that you are and that you were born to be. This is what you came here for. This is how you win the game. You no longer have to force things or push things or go outside of yourself. You get to be yourself, your true self. Make a full-time living as yourself. That the more that you're yourself, the more money you make, the more people you serve, the more freedom you have, the more impact you're able to give to not just yourself and the people immediately around you, but to our entire planet, humanity. Because we're playing this game for humanity, for all of us. And when you win and I win and he wins and she wins and they win, we all win. We all win.